it's come to my attention that I haven't put out a video in years. So I'm going to get back into it. That could mean one video, that could mean 10 videos, who knows. But on today's episode, I have some guests with me. And as always,
this is Just for Friends.
This is Everly.
Hi.
She is
12.
Oh, I thought you were 13. We're going to tell a story about first. Number one, baby. This is a story about one of the first times that Everly went fishing with me. And it was pretty memorable for a big reason.
Yeah.
She was 1 year old. Everly is 4 or 5 or something like that. And we were out at our neighboring lake in Lee Summit, and we were catching bluegill. And I was trying to set her hook up for her and get worms on there and things like that. And at the time, I don't think she would touch a worm.
No.
But at the same time, once I got her set up with a bobber and a worm on her hook, then she was fishing while I was doing some longer casts, trying to maybe catch a bass or something like that. So the story is relatively short because it happened in such a brief period of time, but it probably felt like 1,000 hours to Everly.
Yes.
I cast out while she's set up. I'm trying to catch a couple bass, and I had this brand new razor claw hook on, and I threw it out with a worm, and it got hooked on a lily pad really far out there. So I thought nothing of it, and I just gave it a little jerk like that to try to flick it off of the lily pad, and then this happened.
All of a sudden, I feel pain rushing through my legs, and all of a sudden, I look down, and there's a hook in it. I start screaming and running around while my dad tries to calm me down, but it doesn't.
So as I flicked the rod back, that thing came flying super fast, and it just stuck in Everly's leg because it was so sharp. And I don't know if she was more scared of the pain that she remembers or the worm still being on that hook and being dangling on her leg. But if she took off to run, I knew immediately I had to grab her, because if she got to the end of that line, it was just going to rip the hook out. I drop my pole, I run over, and I grab her as quickly as I can. And by the time that I do, that hook is actually already slipped out. So no harm, no foul, but there was a little bit of blood.
By the time there was a little bit of blood, I really wanted to go home. But Dad said we should keep on fishing, and by that time, we went home, we got a lot of fish.
Oh yeah. So it pays to stay even if there's a little bit of blood.
Yeah.
Now I see them in my nightmares.
This is Warren Gray, and he is picking his nose. Wow. We're going to tell you another story about first times, because Warren got his first turkey this year, but he also got his first deer. So we're going to skip the turkey story and go straight to the deer, because it just happened a few months ago, right?
And I'm really excited.
And he's excited. So we were hunting in Missouri, the best state, and we were hunting at my grandpa's, like we always do, and I've been hunting there since I was a little kid. So it was great to take Warren back to where I grew up and get him on some deer, just like I did growing up with my grandpa and my dad. Earlier in the season, I went down and put a platform up and a blind on top of it so that Warren could have a really nice spot to be able to see a little bit further, but also just kind of be enclosed. So if we wanted to move around a little bit, like he gets a little antsy, it's not such a big deal and the deer don't see him. Is that your antsy eyes?
Maybe.
So Warren, tell me what you thought when you saw the deer for the first time.
I was like kind of surprised, because I'm like, ooh, is it a buck or a doe or huh? What is it? And at that time I'm like, ooh, Like, I'm really surprised that there's a deer right in front of us, and I'm really excited to shoot it.
And I remember saying, "It's a little buck, are you sure?" And he said,
Yes.
and I said, "Are you sure?" And he said,
Yes. Yeah, because I'm little, he's little.
"Yeah,
We're
why
the
not?
same way.
Why not?"
And for my turkey, I was little, and he was little. So,
So,
Win-win.
deja vu. Win-win.
win-win-win-win.
Win-win-win-win. I love it. So the deer started coming closer to us. Warren wanted me to call, so I let out a few soft grunts, and the buck came over to investigate. He stopped behind a tree for a little bit, and then I heard Warren say, "I have him in my sights," and I did not believe him. But he was looking through the scope, and you could see what?
A whole big deer.
So I told him if the deer steps one more step, he could pull the trigger. And as soon as the deer did, Warren let it fly. How did
Bang!
how did it feel?
I was like really, really anxious and excited because I shot it and I'm like, did I hit it? Did I hit it? Did I not hit it? I was really, really anxious because I'm like, did I miss? And if I missed, I would probably cry.
But he didn't miss, and we got pumped and we celebrated probably too loud. But we assumed that the deer was down, so it was no harm, no foul.
I wanted to go, but he said, let's wait 5 minutes. And then we waited like 10 or
Probably.
15.
So Warren made a perfect shot, the best shot that you can make. The deer died within like 5 seconds, if that. So we got down, we found it really easily. So we were cleaning up the deer. I handed Warren something, and he had no idea what it was.
Until he told me the ball sack.
Ooh, fuzzy.
And that is how you get an 8-year-old boy into hunting. Until next time, baby.